Hey everyone, and welcome back to Easter Devotional 2021. We are doing some devotionals just to prepare our hearts for Easter, upcoming Good Friday, and also upcoming Easter Sunday. And yesterday we talked about the first thing that Jesus said when he was on the cross. Of course, there are 7 things Jesus says on the cross, 4 that he says to humanity, and 3 that he actually says to God as prayers. And so we're taking those prayers and wondering if those prayers overlay on our own life experience with God. It turns out yesterday's prayer really does, because we all at times struggle with unforgiveness. We all need to continually be in a position, a posture of forgiveness with people. And the first thing Jesus prays when he's on the cross to his accusers, to his abusers, to the ones who are crucifying him, he says to the Lord, he says, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And so today what we're going to talk about is the second prayer that Jesus prays when he's on the cross. And he prays this, Matthew 27 records it, Mark 15 records it, and it's a very simple line. It's a quote, actually, from Scripture. And the quote is, my God, why have you forsaken me? And I wonder today, as you are preparing for Easter and you're sitting there today, have you ever felt abandoned or forsaken? Have you ever felt alone? Have you ever felt loneliness? This is what Jesus is feeling in this moment. Obviously, statistically today, and I think it was Mother Teresa who said that the poverty is not the biggest concern of the world today. The biggest concern with the world today is loneliness, people feeling abandoned and alone. And so I love it. Scripture could totally sanitize this and make all of our Bible characters look like superheroes. But the beauty of the Bible is that the Bible does not sanitize our Bible characters to make them look like superheroes. They actually are real. They're raw. They show their emotions. In this moment when Jesus prays this prayer to the Father, directly to the Father, it's a prayer that he would never have prayed before, because in this moment the sin of the entire world was being laid on Jesus. And in that moment, because God cannot look at sin, God had to turn his back on Jesus. And for the very first time in their existence, the Father and the Son were separated by the sin of the world. And in that moment, Jesus felt this bone crush. He felt all the weight of the sin of the world, all of the physical pain, but he felt this pain of God leaving him, of God forsaking him, of God turning his back on him. And it was a loneliness that he could not understand. When we talk about the Bible characters, I love the fact that Jesus is literally quoting David, who was called a man after God's own heart. And David prayed in Psalm 22. We all know Psalm 23, but Psalm 22, 1 and 2, it says, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me? So far from my cries of anguish. David was in trouble. My God, I cry out by day, and you do not answer, and by night, but I find no rest. It is comforting to know that these Bible characters felt the way that maybe you feel, that maybe the way I feel, that there is this extreme loneliness, this depth of despair where you just feel like nobody gets you, nobody understands you, nobody is with you on the journey. And you have Jesus, who is crying these words out as a prayer to the Lord, as the second prayer of the 7 things that Jesus says. I find this verse in Hebrews 4:15 very, very comforting. It says, for we do not have a high priest, or Jesus, who is unable to sympathize and understand our weaknesses and temptations, but one who has been tempted, knowing exactly how it feels to be human in every respect as we are, yet without committing any sin. Jesus knows, just take comfort in this, that Jesus knows exactly how you feel today. Jesus knows exactly how you feel today. And he sympathizes with you, and he wishes that he could make it better. I'm reminded of that old famous poem. We used to have it up in our house, and it's called Footprints, and it's this story about God walking with this person. And of course, this is on the landscape of their life. And the person is walking along and God is walking with them, and they're making two footprints in the sand. But it comes to a certain couple of points where the person says to the Lord, you know what, when I look back on those really hard times in my life, the times when I really felt alone and abandoned, there was only one set of footprints. Why, of all people, would you abandon me as well? You left me high and dry at my deepest point of need. And so, of course, the Lord turns to this person and says, I didn't leave you during those times of need. There's only one set of footprints, because that's when I was carrying you. So if you're going through a hard time today and you're leading up to Easter, would you just feel the loving arms of Jesus wrap around you? Would you just feel Jesus carrying you along? And if you're feeling lonely, I pray that he would make his presence so known to you, so rich and so real, and specifically this Easter 2021.